I always believed that when a marriage ends, it doesn't happen in one big, dramatic moment. No slamming doors. No shouting matches. No shattered dishes on the floor. No, real endings come quietly. They creep in, slow and steady, like a leak in the roof you don't notice until the ceiling caves in. For 17 years, I was married to Rebecca. 17 years of shared secrets, inside jokes, lazy Sunday mornings, and soft kisses before bed. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were strong. I thought we had something worth fighting for. Turns out, I was the only one still fighting. It started with little things: missed phone calls, fewer shared meals, a distance in her eyes that I couldn't quite place. At first, I convinced myself it was work stress. Then, I thought maybe it was just a rough patch. Every couple goes through them, right? But then there were the phone calls. Late at night. She'd smile at her screen, eyes lighting up in a way I hadn't seen in years, and then she'd step out of the room to answer. I wasn't stupid. One evening, I came home earlier than usual. The house smelled different. Expensive cologne, sharp and unfamiliar. And then I saw 2 wine glasses on the coffee table. One had a faint lipstick stain on the rim, a shade of red Rebecca never wore. I stood there, staring at those glasses, my pulse steady but my mind racing. She walked in moments later, her hair slightly tousled, the flush in her cheeks telling me everything I needed to know. But what stunned me wasn't the betrayal itself. It was the look in her eyes when she saw me standing there. No guilt. No panic. Just indifference. "Oh," she said, tilting her head. "You're home early. Should I have called first?" I asked, my voice even. She smirked. Smirked. Wouldn't have changed anything. I let out a slow breath. Who is he? Does it matter? I wanted to get angry. I wanted to demand answers. But then she said something that made my blood turn to ice. He's moving in. No divorce papers needed. Just leave. Just like that. No hesitation. No shame. No remorse. I studied her, trying to see the woman I once loved. The woman I had built a life with. But she wasn't there. Not anymore. So, I did exactly what she asked. I packed a single bag, took one last look at the house we built together, and walked out the door. No begging. No arguing. Just silence. Because some betrayals don't deserve words. That night, I checked into a hotel, stared at the ceiling, and let the weight of it all settle. 17 years. Gone. And yet, as I lay there in the dark, there was no pain. No heartbreak. Just clarity. See, Rebecca thought she knew me. She thought I was just a boring husband who worked in finance, the kind of man who would sulk in a hotel room for weeks, nursing his wounds. She had no idea who she was really married to. And by the next morning, she was about to find out. At exactly 7:15 a.m., her phone rang. She didn't answer the first time. Or the second. But on the third ring, curiosity must have won over her indifference. "Hello?" A calm, authoritative voice responded. "Mrs. Langley, this is Special Agent Carter from the FBI. We need to speak with you regarding your husband." I imagine she rolled her eyes, already irritated at the inconvenience. Ex-husband. And I have nothing to say about him. A pause. Then, you might want to reconsider that. Because Rebecca never really knew me. For 15 years, I had worked as an undercover intelligence operative. My job was to infiltrate organizations, track illegal operations, and dismantle them from the inside. And the man she had so carelessly replaced me with? A high-profile arms dealer. She didn't just cheat. She walked straight into the jaws of a predator. The FBI had been tracking him for months. The moment I walked out, alarms went off. Rebecca, in all her arrogance, had unknowingly made herself an accomplice. I wasn't there when the agents showed up at her house. But I like to imagine the color drained from her face as realization sank in. By the time she tried to call me, I was already gone. A new name. A new city. A new life. She had made her choice. And I had made mine. I heard from a mutual friend months later. Apparently, Rebecca had been questioned for hours. They wanted to know how much she knew, how deep she was in. She swore she had no idea, that she was just dating him. They didn't arrest her, but they did seize assets. Froze accounts. That comfortable life she thought she was stepping into? It crumbled in an instant. The arms dealer, her boyfriend, was taken into custody. And Rebecca? She was left with nothing. When our friend asked if I had known who he was, I just smiled. Of course, I knew. I had spent years hunting men like him. And when I saw those wine glasses on the table that night, I recognized the cologne, the name, the pattern. And I knew exactly what was coming for her. Did I feel sorry for her? No. Because some betrayals don't deserve second chances. And some people never really know who they married. A year later, I sat at a quiet CAF in another city, sipping my coffee as I watched people walk by. New name. New identity. New life. A woman sat across from me. She was beautiful, with kind eyes and a gentle smile. Tell me something, she asked, tilting her head. Have you ever been in love before? I thought about Rebecca. About 17 years of memories, both good and bad. About that last night in our house, when she had laughed and told me to just leave. And then I thought about who I had become since then. Smiling, I stirred my coffee. Once, I said. A long time ago. And with that, I let the past go. Betrayal is a strange thing. It doesn't just break your heart, it changes who you are. But sometimes, if you're lucky, it doesn't destroy you. It sets you free. And some people never realize what they lost until it's too late.